Oh, yeah, Frenzy Head Nation. What is happening? It's time for another exciting episode of Sports Frenzy. Welcome back, everybody. Hope everybody's had a great week so far. I know I have. It's been the day we're filming the show here is we're doing the show on Wednesdays right now for those watching live. And those who will be watching the video, the recorded version on Fridays. New norm for a while is going to be Wednesday shoots, I believe, because I plan on taking in, what is going on Thursdays? My normal filming nights. What is going on? There's something going on Thursday nights. What is it? What is it? Ah, that's right. By the time you watch the show, those who aren't with me live, Thursday nights we have coming up for you guys Hope Hoopsters action. So Coach Cole plans on catching some Hope Hoopsters action this year, and so we're going to start filming the show on Wednesday nights, so my Thursdays will be opened up a little bit for that. But that's for the live part of the show. Anybody that watched the recorded version, it'll still be on Fridays in your classrooms and wherever else at the Hope Center over there. I'll be watching it on Fridays as well. So just wanted to throw that out there that Hope Hoopsters, by the time the Hope Center watches this video, will have their first two games under their belt already. And hopefully, maybe, if all goes well and the way I plan it, I might do some, I'll try and get some interviews and stuff while I'm there and post some stuff. Not necessarily sure I'll be able to go live because most of my shoots that I do live from my phone, but I should be able to get some interviews that I can upload and stuff. So, yeah, that should be awesome. Hey, my buddy Travis is checking in on Facebook. Welcome, Travis. It's good to hear from you. Yeah, buddy, go Hoopsters. That's right. Travis, if you do not know, is also heavily involved with the Hope Hoopsters as well. So it'll be awesome. I'll get to see him while I'm there too. All right. So with that being said, let's jump into last week's results show here. Where did I put my sheets? Here we go. Okay, last week. So I start off with, let's see, my winners from the Laura Haviland programs. Last week I have Ian. He came up with 20 out of 25 points. And Coach Randolph and Jeremy tied with 20 out of 25 points as well. So there's your score for that. For what I have for them. So congratulations goes out to those guys. And okay, let's recap the rest of the show here for you guys. The rest of that was season 9, episode 8 last week. We started off with playoff football action, high school football action, and in Division 6 we had a huge game between Quincy and Columbia Central Golden Eagles. Columbia Central Golden Eagles got it done. 61-27 was your final score there. Also in Division 6, we had Blissfield versus Hillsdale. Blissfield getting it done against Hillsdale. 21-10 was your final score there. Remember, in playoff action, guys, it's one and done. You get, you win, you move on. You lose, you go home. That's it. In Division 7, EPBP season done early this year. I'm shocked by this, as they lost to New Lothrop. 55-12 was your final score there. Also in Division 7, Sand Creek's season comes to an end as they lose to St. Mary's Catholic. 52-34 is your final score there. The Clinton Redskins, however, move on as they win in a huge fashion over Springport. 73-34 was your final score there. And that was your first 3-point bonus game of the week. And in Division 8, Lenawee Christian falling to Whiteford. 51-14 was your final score there. It's tragic. I don't know. I was a bit. I went with Whiteford was a tough team, and they just did a number on all our Lenawee County teams this year. Moving on to our college basketball action. The East Lansing Burning Couches, aka MSU, got a win over Purdue. This one surprised me. After Purdue's big win over the team down below, I thought for sure they'd be able to get it done against MSU. But boy, was I far from wrong on this one. As MSU gets the win 23-13, being your final score there. In your second 3-point bonus game, we had Florida taking on Georgia. Georgia ran away with the win. 36-17 was your final score there. That was your second 3-point bonus game as well. Mississippi State getting a win over Texas. 28-13 was your final there. So, well, moving on to some more local college teams. We had the Adrian Bulldogs getting it done against, and I'm going to butcher this name, Finlandia. 49-6 was your final score in that game. And the Siena Heights getting a win over the Marion Knights. 27-14 was your final score there. The Hillsdale Chargers getting it done against, I'm probably going to butcher this one too, Wesleyan. Anyway, it doesn't matter what their name is because Hillsdale shut them out. 34-0 was your final score there. So on the page when I went to check out the score results on this game, Trinity Bible takes on Lawrence Tech. The game was canceled. No explanation given as to why the game was canceled. But, excuse me. Everybody gets a point for that game as it was a canceled game. I have no idea why either. Okay, and your last, let's see, is it the last one? Let's guess. Your last your last college football game. Got to get this right, Coach Cole. Last college football game had the Indiana Wesleyan getting the win over Olivet Nazarene. 40-36 was your final score there. Moving into NHL hockey action, where the Detroit Red Wings are having a very disappointing season at the moment. And they lost this particular game to Winnipeg Jets 2-1, being the final in that game. The St. Louis Blues get a huge win over the Chicago Blackhawks. 7-3 was your final score there. Minor league hockey action. We have the Toledo Walleye. Excuse me. Getting the win over Fort Wayne is 7-3. And then the Grand Rapid Griffins getting a win over Bellevue. 3-1 was your final there. World Series action. This was game number 3, and what a game it was. This game started at 8 o'clock our time and was still on till about 3:30 in the morning. The game was tied at 2 and went 18 innings when finally the Dodgers got a home run to bring the game to an end. However, they won game 3, but they did not win the World Series. So congratulations goes out to the Red Sox, who are this year's World Series champions. And a little note, anybody who was following this series, the Red Sox had 5 former Detroit Tigers on their team. This is kind of funny because last week's game here, we got some NBA action. As we're starting to get we got all these sports coming back into the mix. So NBA action, the Boston Celtics traveled to Detroit where they beat them 109-89. And it just so happens the Detroit Pistons played the Boston Celtics again Tuesday night. And they also got beaten that game. But this particular game, the Boston Celtics won 109-89. And then you had the San Antonio Spurs getting a squeaker win over the LA Lakers 110-106. So far, folks, your LeBron James LA Lakers aren't that good. I've been horrible about this lately. I keep forgetting to not mark down who the race winners were. I know who came in first place was Joey Logano, and that made let me look it up real quick here. Let me grab my other tablet. Hold on just a second. I use my Kindle Fire to grab some information as we need NASCAR. That's what I want to know. That's what we do. Last week's NASCAR results. All right. Okay, this drives me nuts when it does this. I know Joe Logano came in first, and I believe Kyle Busch came in third, if I remember correctly. I apologize for not having that results for you guys on that one for NASCAR. I will get it figured out better this week. I don't know why I keep forgetting that one. Anyway, that is your recap part of the show. Let's get our sheets out and our picks out here, and everything's going good so far. This week, we are all over the place with the action, as we have a little bit of everything going on with sports right now. We got football, we got college ball, we got hockey back, we got basketball back in some capacity. I think college hoops return next week as well. So as the high school playoffs are starting to wrap up, things are going to be taking a turn away from local sports into more of our, well, not completely local, but our away from high school sports and into more local action stuff as far as other teams go. But we still have some teams alive in the divisional playoffs in the districts. And so, congratulations goes out to them. Our first game this week is going to be an interesting one. And again, I want to remind you, I did see that playoff games are actually, see, this is how long it's been since I've been to a playoff game. Playoff games are $6, and student passes do not work for these games. So you have to pay the full $6 to get in because the state wants their money. So our first game this week in playoff action, we have the 6 wins and 4 losses, the Blissfield Royals marching on. And they are traveling to and playing against the Columbia Central Golden Eagles. The Eagles still have 9 wins and 1 loss. This is a 7 p.m. kickoff. These are 2 really good teams. And like we've already stated before, it is one and done. You either win and move on, or the season is over. I am an honorary member of the Columbia Central Golden Eagles, but I also have my classroom also teams up with the Blissfield Royals for some things. So with that being said, I believe this week I'm going with the Columbia Central Golden Eagles. They are moving on. And I thought you guys thought I was going to defer this game, didn't you? Columbia Central Golden Eagles for the win, and they continue to move on in the playoffs. That was Division 6, if I didn't say that, by the way. All right, your Division 7 game has St. Mary's Catholic. They have 8 wins and 2 losses. You know, it would have been pretty easy to make this one of our 3-point bonus games this week as well, because these next 2 games, they have the identical records. They are traveling to and playing against the Clinton Redskins, who have 8 wins and 2 losses. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. This is also a playoff game, so get in. It will cost you $6. 7 p.m. kickoff. Both teams have 8-2 records. I'm going to go Clinton Redskins for the win. Division 8 action. I put this one on here. Decided we'll go ahead and follow them just because they've destroyed a lot of our teams this year. I know a lot of our teams are probably going, boo, we don't want to follow them. They ended our season. But I predict this could be a decent game. We have the Reading Rangers. They have 10 wins and 0 losses. And they are traveling to and playing against Whiteford, who also has a perfect undefeated season, has 10 wins and 0 losses. And Mr. Coach Boring, are you ready? Let's do this. Tune up. Me. Are you ready? Because this week's game is your first a 3-point bonus game. It's your first a 3-point bonus game. It's your first 3-point bonus game. Yes, it is. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. for this game as well. I am going to go ahead and go Whiteford. I really don't know anything about Reading. I mean, they look like they're a pretty good team this year. But hey, Whiteford's wiped out everybody to this point. So I believe Whiteford is going to go ahead and continue on. I'm not sure how I overlooked this one. But we're moving into college action. And listen up, guys. All these games are being played on Saturday. And our first game here is, I don't know why I didn't write it on here. I overlooked it, I guess. So go ahead and write this down because this is your 3 points. 3 points. It's your second 3-point bonus game. Yes, it is. I don't know if I was hesitating on that because I wasn't sure if I wanted back-to-back games being your 3-point bonus game like that, and I didn't really realize it came out that way. But this is your second 3-point bonus game. And I will tell you why here in just a second. Because it involves the number 14th ranked Penn State, who has 6 wins and 2 losses, but they are traveling to and playing against the team coming off a bye week. And they are one of the world's greatest college teams of all time. That's right. I am talking about the number 5th ranked, 7 wins, 1 loss, your mighty Michigan Wolverines. Go blue! Go blue! Hail to the victors! Hail, hail to Michigan, the leaders and the best. Go blue! Now, Michigan, I know there's a lot of hype about them right now, and I'm hoping those boys are staying hyped on their own without letting this get into them right now. Number 5, Michigan comes out with the win. I think they're as they have said, they're hungry. They want this one. They want it bad. Marching on, those Wolverines. This game kicks off at 3:45 p.m. and will be on ESPN. And as I said, go blue! Your next game, your next college football game, we have the Maryland Terrapins. They have 5 wins and 3 losses. They are traveling to and playing against. I didn't go beyond the top 25 ranking. Yeah, but I did see that I didn't see them in the top 25. But MSU has 5 wins and 2 losses. This game kicks off at 12 p.m. and you can watch it on ESPN2. Looks to me like State has found a fairly decent replacement quarterback in their ranks. Just to keep my State fans happy and maybe save a couch or two. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Win, lose, draw, they still burn couches. So I'm going to go MSU for the win. Alabama is also back in action this week. They are in the AP polls ranked number 1 still as well. They have 8 wins and 0 losses. They're on the road this week, traveling to what might be, I guess, possibly one of the first teams to give them some competition this year. The number 4 ranked LSU. LSU has 7 wins and 1 loss. This is going to be a late game, not super late. It's an evening game. 8 p.m. is your kickoff, and you can watch this game on CBS. Alabama has not had any problems with anybody they've played to this point. I feel confident this is going to be a good game. I'm hoping it's going to be a good game. I'll probably watch it if I'm home. So I'm going to go ahead and go Alabama, but not rule out an upset here. Moving on, we're coming to a couple of local, well, not a couple of local teams, a local team here. You have the Adrian College Bulldogs. They have 4 wins and 4 losses. They're on the road this week, traveling to and playing against Trine. Trine, unfortunately, is 8 wins and 0 losses. I honestly do not see Adrian getting past these guys, unfortunately. I'm going to give the win to Trine. As much as I like to stay with my local teams. Kickoff for that game is at 1 p.m. and it's not a televised game. So I do think I don't know if they go every other week or how they do that. But WLEN, the radio station WLEN, which is your local kind of Adrian radio, WLEN is kind of a older person's station, so the younger school-age generation and people like most of us wouldn't only turn on WLEN when it's like severe weather and we need to hear what's going on that way. But they do broadcast the games, so you might be able to catch this game on the radio. You know, it's on the show again this week. Good old lemonade. So you might be able to hear that one on the radio, or you might hear this one on the radio. But this game you should also be able to go and watch because it's a home game this week. And we have Lindenwood Bellevue. They have 0 wins and 9 losses. They appear to not be a very good team. They are traveling to and playing against your Siena Heights. And they have 6 wins and 2 losses. I'm going to go with Siena Heights for the win. This game kicks off at 1 p.m. Not a televised game, but if you live right here in Adrian, you can go right down to Siena Heights and watch the game. I got Siena Heights for the win. Next up, we have Tiffin. Tiffin has 9 wins and 0 losses. And they are traveling to and playing against Hillsdale Chargers, who have 8 wins and 1 loss. This game kicks off at 1 p.m. at Hillsdale College. So you could go and see that game as well. Tiffin looks like a pretty tough team. They're undefeated. But I think they're going to find something and get in there and get the win this week. I've got Hillsdale for the win. All right, next up, interesting school name, cool logo. We have St. Xavier. St. Xavier has 7 wins and 3 losses. They are traveling to and playing against Olivet Nazarene University. These boys have 4 wins and 4 losses. This is where Coach Boring and Amanda Ream's daughter goes to school at. Believe she's dating a football player. I told Ream she needs to really motivate the team, and she's been able to do it to a point. St. Xavier's got 7 wins and 3 losses, though, Ream. How much motivation can you give these boys this week? You know, if I still had your phone number, I would call you live on the show right now and ask you what your opinion on this week's game is. But I don't, and we're filming the show now, so I can't even ask you tomorrow before the game. But I might touch base with you anyway and see what your thoughts are on it. Because of the high spirits of Amanda Ream, and Coach Boring can fire up some people too. And we all know what Mackenzie can do as far as firing people up. She's a motivator all in herself. I'm going to give the win to I'm going to go ahead and say that Olivet Nazarene gets the win. This game kicks off at 1 p.m. And it's not a televised game. All right, next up, we are moving into, yes, we've got hockey action going on. NHL hockey action, to be exact. As we have the Edmonton Oilers. They have 6 wins, 3 losses, 1 overtime loss. And they are traveling to and playing against, sadly, the struggling Detroit Red Wings. The Red Wings have 3 wins, 7 losses, and 2 overtime losses. Their last victory coming Tuesday night. I believe, I'm not sure they're playing either tonight. For those watching the recorded version, they might play. I think they have another game before you actually watch the show. So, so this is the records as of Wednesday night. The Detroit Red Wings only have 3 wins under their belt, 7 losses, and 2 overtime losses. But hey, we never ever give up on the Detroit Red Wings, even though some people are calling them the Dead Wings. Let's go Red Wings! Let's go, Red Wings. Let's go, Red Wings. Fire up. Your next hockey game we have. Oh, yes. Jeez. Got to tune up the tune up the old clipboard guitar here. Let's see here. Dun 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 dun. All right, let's see if my voice is ready for this week. Oh, I said, oh, we've got the Minnesota Wild. The Minnesota Wild have this little logo right here. They have a record of 6 wins, 3 losses, and 2 overtime losses too. But they're on the road. And they're traveling to my second favorite team in the NHL. A little team we call the St. Louis Blues. Oh, those St. Louis Blues are struggling a bit this season. Kind of just like our Red Wings as well. Oh, they have only 3 wins under their belt. And 4 losses at this point, too. But that's not all. They also have 3 overtime losses as well. And quite possibly 2. There might be another game or 2. Wait a minute. We're not done yet. Little drink to help the vocal cords. There's more. Oh, I know you're dying for more. We're not done yet. And we got an 8 p.m. kickoff. Oh my gosh. We got an 8 p.m. when the puck drops. And this is a Saturday night game. And what makes me have more of the blues, I just couldn't find a local television station for this game. Why do I go to all the trouble to do it this way? Because it just sounds kind of cool for those St. Louis Blues. I don't know how I get through that without cracking up completely, but And I've had some people ask me, Coach, what the heck's in your lemonade? It's just lemonade, I promise. I can't help it. I just have too much fun with that. And someday when I retire, maybe I'm going to be a blues singer. I don't know. Oh, yes. It ain't no fun if we're not having fun. That's for sure. All right, moving right along. We are moving into minor league hockey action we have for you guys. And we have a team that I don't think I've really had on here before. I don't know. Didn't do any research on them, and I don't remember these guys. I had to actually print up their logo because I didn't have it in my file, so I don't even know. They might be a new team. But they are the Idaho Steelheads. So we got fish on fish action this week. That's right, the Idaho Steelheads. 3 wins, 3 losses. They are traveling to and playing against your Toledo Walleye. The Walleye have 5 wins, 1 loss, and 1 overtime loss. The puck drops at 7:15 Friday night. You can watch this on the ECHL TV network, but hold the presses because the ECHL TV channel, it's not free. No. You got to watch it on your computer. You can buy a yearly pass, or you can buy from game to game. But if you're diehard, you could do that. Or this game's in Toledo this week. Cool thing about the Walleye is tickets are, well, it's been a few years since Rose and I went to a game. But last time I went to a game, well, I didn't pay for the ticket anyway, but it was one of Rose's presents to me at one point. But tickets were family affordable. So this is a good game to go see. Family affordable, but you know what? Last year's action wasn't always family friendly. They actually had a few good feuds, a few good fights that they let go last year. Remnants of the former Toledo Storm, perhaps. There was some fights going on. But the Toledo Walleye is who I have for the victory. And, yeah, like I said, fairly affordable, fun-filled times for the family. Hope to get back there again someday with Rose. Again, and or perhaps some friends, whoever. We can get some people around, have you. Maybe get a Sports Frenzy bus around someday. We'll all go down there. Our next game, we have the Iowa Wild. The Iowa Wild have 5 wins and 2 losses. They are traveling to the Grand Rapids Griffins, who are struggling like our Detroit Red Wings this year. Man, they only have 3 wins and 5 losses. The puck drops for this game at 7 p.m. as well, Friday night, and it's not a televised game. But Griffins games you can actually listen to on the radio or on. They have. You can type it in. I think it's on. It's either the iHeartRadio app or the TuneIn radio app. You can type in the team you like, and it'll bring up their radio broadcast. So, yeah, you could do that. And listen to the game if you want to. Even though they're not doing so hot, I'm going with the Grand Rapids Griffins for the victory here. Oh, yeah, we've got the return of college hockey action, folks. It is back, nation. That's right. College hockey is back. In our first hockey game this week, we have, again, the world's greatest college playing. That's right. I'm talking about your Go Blue Boys from Michigan, the Michigan hockey team. Hail to the victors. Hail, hail to Michigan, the leaders and the best. Go Blue. Michigan hockey off to a fiery start. They have 3 wins and 2 losses. They are traveling to and playing against a tough opponent, apparently. The Lake Superior Lakers. The Lake Superior Lakers are undefeated right now until they play Michigan, that is. They have 4 wins and 0 losses. Everybody knows who we are going with. That's right. We are going with the Go Blue Boys of Michigan. Hail to the victors, Valiant. Hail to Michigan. Go Blue. Always and forever, I bleed blue. Go Blue. We also have back in action for you guys. Well, their opponent first. These guys haven't even played a game yet. This hockey team, when I looked up their record. The Michigan game, the puck drops at 7:37. They have such weird times for some of these games. Not 7:35, not 7:40, 7:37 is when that puck drops. So get out your timer and watch, because it'll be that time when it happens. We have Lawrence hockey team. This is not to be confused with Lawrence Tech, because it's not them. Lawrence, they haven't played any games yet this season. They have 0 wins, 0 losses. But they are traveling to and playing against our local team, who are starting off red hot already. We are talking, that's right, about the Adrian Bulldogs hockey team, men's hockey team. This is men's hockey, I should stress. They have 2 wins and 0 losses. I'm going with the Adrian Boys hockey team for the win, for another great season of action out of them. The puck drops for this game 7:05, and I believe there's still space available for that game. So you could head out there to Adrian College and catch that game this week. And we are back with more NBA action for you guys this week as well. Yes, full spectrum of the sports world happening once again. Our first NBA basketball game has the Boston Celtics, red hot Boston Celtics. They have 5 wins and 2 losses. They are traveling to and playing against the Indiana Pacers, who are home this week. They have 4 wins and 3 losses. This is a Saturday game, 7 p.m. tip-off, and you can watch this on NBA TV. You guys know who I got. They're my favorite team. That has all the legends of the old years. Well, they're not there anymore, but the Boston Celtics still remain up there as one of my top teams, with my allegiance to Mr. Larry Bird. So I've got the Boston Celtics for the victory. And Boston took both games that they played against the beloved Pistons. There are 2 losses this season so far. Well, we'll talk about that in just a minute, because they are our next game here. And so, speaking of that, we have Detroit basketball. That's right, Detroit basketball. They are back in action at, I almost said their former place, at Little Caesars Arena. with their covered black seats. Do you guys miss? I should make that a poll question. Actually, I probably will. Look forward to a poll question on the Sports Frenzy page coming up maybe later tonight. My poll question, get to that in just a second. You can look for all things Sports Frenzy and on our Facebook page, Sports Frenzy. If you're not already a member, then shame on you. You should be. All you got to do is go to the Facebook page, look it up, and apply, and not really even apply. You just click on it, say you want to be a member. I see who you are, and I go, hey, I know that person. Cool. You become a member of the Sports Frenzy Nation. And from there on, you have the right to comment on all things. We try to keep it family friendly. Sometimes we go a little off on some tangents, but we do try to stay family friendly most of the time. Like I said, we get off on some stuff that isn't always family friendly, and that's okay too. The professor, Jeff Plum, he likes to rant from time to time on the show, so shout out to Jeff. But anyway, so that's where the poll question will be, and the poll question I'm going to have. My first poll question will be, I think, do you miss the Pistons playing at the Palace of Auburn Hills? Yes or no? And my second question will probably be, I might do a two-part question. Might be not even in the same week. Maybe we'll see what the results are for this one first. I think, though, yeah. Do you like the Pistons playing at the no. Do you miss the Pistons playing at the how should I word this? Do you miss the Pistons playing at the Palace of Auburn Hills? Or do you like the Pistons playing at Little Caesars Arena? I think we'll start off with that. We'll go with, do you miss the Pistons playing at the Palace of Auburn Hills? We'll go with that one and see how that goes. Anyway, speaking of the Detroit Pistons, the Detroit basketball, this week they have 4 wins as of the recording of the show, 2 losses. Those 2 losses coming from the Boston Celtics. But they're on the road this week, so it really doesn't matter where they're playing, if you like them playing at the Palace of Auburn Hills or at Little Caesars Arena. They're on the road playing the Philadelphia 76ers. They have 4 wins and 3 losses. This is a Saturday game, 7 p.m. And, of course, you can watch this on FSD. And, of course, I'm going with the Detroit Pistons for the win. But other sources you can follow us on. So, yeah, you can become a member of the Sports Frenzy Nation, and the Nation is allowed to speak out on all topics that they want to talk about and everything on the show. It can be interactive. Plus, if you miss the show here, it'll also be posted there. If you're not in one of our schools where you can see the game sheets, from time to time I miss them, but I try to post our game sheets every week on the Frenzy site so that you can see what games we're actually calling on. You can print your sheets and interact that way too if you'd like, because that's how we do like to do things. Or you can also follow us on our Twitter feed at SportsFrenzy1. And you can also follow the YouTube page where the videos also go up on. We are doing YouTube Live this week and Facebook Live this week as well. So the YouTube page is Coach Co Sports Frenzy 1. So that's where you can find our YouTube page. I haven't got brave enough to branch out on anything else yet. And we used to have an Instagram account, but I didn't really post anything to that. Like, to me, it's just like what I post. The Twitter feeds and the Facebook page, trying to keep. That's a cool thing about it too, though. I try to keep everything up to date on the pages. On your Facebook page and stuff, we do have the members that may post a story or two, breaking news that I can't get to. Jamie Rose is still heavily involved, former co-host of the show, still heavily involved about posting news to the page for me, keeping us up to date when he can. And we do have others that post things from time to time as well. So it's awesome that it's an interactive kind of show. So I like that too. Anyway, back to our games. Our last, I believe, this is our last NBA game of the week. We have the New Orleans Pelicans. They have 4 wins and 2 losses, and they are traveling to and playing against the Jason Boring San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio Spurs also have 4 wins, 2 losses. This is a Saturday night game, 8:30 p.m. is your tip-off. I didn't have a cable channel for that one, so if it's televised. Yeah, I don't think, nothing local anyway. But I've got the San Antonio Spurs for the victory. That is your last NBA game of the week. But we do have NASCAR, and I need to find out where the race is this week. Sunday, NASCAR race. All right. This will be the AAA Texas 500. This race is being called the AAA Texas 500. Yes. For those of you who don't know me and may hear it in the background, I have pugs, not 1 but 2, and they are currently barking, and the studio is not 100% completely soundproof. So hope you're not too. I apologize for my barking friends. So this race is the Texas 500. 3 p.m. is when the race will start. And we have the driver standings here. So, are we down to the top 5 now? Top 5 racers? If we are, this is what we have right now. We have Kyle Busch, number 1, with 4,104 points. Martin Truex Jr. in number 2 with 4,083 points. Kevin Harvick in 3 with 4,083 points. Joey Logano still around in 4th with 4,074 points. Kurt Busch in 5th with 4,058 points. Chase Elliott. No, I think Chase Elliott with 4,052 points and Clint Bauer in 7th with 4,041 points. I think they're on the verge of being eliminated. So that's what I have for you as far as NASCAR goes this week. I will be going with Kyle Busch, as I usually do. And next up on our show, we're going to go to the Facebook page. There was a lot going on this week for sure, I can tell you. We got some stuff for you guys, and we still got some time for this on the show, I do believe. Let's see where we're at here. Get you to the Facebook page. Apologize, it's taking a second for it to load here. Oops. All right, got it. Okay, so some news this week. Top of our news right now, the Detroit Red Wings have recalled center Wade Megan from the Grand Rapids Griffins and assigned defensive man Joe Hicketts to the Griffins. Apparently, a future Michigan quarterback named Cade McNamara set a state record for touchdown passes, so congratulations to him. They don't have a name yet, but the new Traverse City baseball team is actually posting their season tickets and suites for the upcoming season this far. You can go to the Sports Frenzy page there for more news on that. Apparently, the dude named Ted Valentine won't be reffing Big Ten basketball games this season. Again, you can go to our Sports Frenzy page to get more on that story. Kyle Busch doing some fun things, showing up in uniform and going out and doing some trick-or-treating with everybody, and just walking up to people's houses he knows or don't know and handing out candy to the kids. So that was kind of cool. Cody Rhodes was interviewed recently saying he has no intentions of coming back to WWE anytime soon. Congratulations goes out to the Hillsdale College volleyball team. They have clinched their number one seed with a sweep of Findlay last week. Things not looking so good in Maryland, as Maryland had their is reportedly letting Coach DJ Durkin return. When he went to have a locker room meeting with his players, apparently quite a few players decided to walk out on him. So stay tuned for continuing sagas and stories going on there. Apparently, the Dodgers have to consider what their options are going to be against Kershaw, as he can opt out of his contract this year. So stay tuned for more news there. This weekend's game will have someone who has not been around Michigan for quite some time. That's right. I'm talking about Mr. Timeout himself, Chris Webber, one of the original Fab Five. I joke around about the whole timeout thing, but Fab Five. And I knew there's a lot of history that's gone down, good and bad, here in Michigan with the Fab Five. But, to me, they were still an amazing team. And as young kids, I don't know what they did behind the scenes, but it did cost Michigan a lot as far as banners and respect went. So, but Chris Webber will be making his return on the football field, on the sideline this week. We'll see how the reaction to that is. I don't, again, I still have issues with the NFL, so I haven't been reporting any news. But to me, When I do have I did report this out because I think it's the most ridiculous thing I've seen in my entire life. Why would you get rid of one of your? As far as I know, I haven't watched a game this season. You're good players, but Golden Tate was traded to the Eagles, no longer a Lion, which is unfortunate for the Lions. Congratulations goes out to Clay Thomas, who apparently hit NBA record for most 3-pointers in a game. So congratulations goes out to him. It looks like the Western Michigan Broncos will be finishing their season with a freshman quarterback, as their starting quarterback has to have surgery. One of the new teams that is coming into the league that the new Traverse City team will be playing in. The name they don't have a name for our team yet, but this team's name is the Rocket City Trash Pandas. Highly different and unusual name, but okay. And I think that just about covers everything we need to on the show this week, guys. We're a little over an hour in, so that's usually about good for everyone. Anyway, great show this week, guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us, who joined us live. Thank you, everybody who's watching the shows. And by the time you watch this, we'll have a couple of Hope Hoopster games under our belts. And so everybody get out there, have a great weekend. Here it's going to be kind of cold. Chilly for the Michigan game. May want to watch it at home. Everybody have a great weekend. And we'll see everybody again next week around the same time. Again, take care. Be blessed, everyone. I'm the coach, and I love you all. See you again real soon. Take care, everybody.